Hello everyone. I am about to share my screen. Today we're going to be talking about a great topic on how to get more listings for this 2023. This is a very important subject for every agent in any level, whether you're starting, or you are in the business for a while. It's very important to focus on the main lead generation strategies that are, you can use the word trending of this year, and that's what we're going to be reviewing today. As you might have heard, the traditional lead generation strategies involve calling people you know, cold calling, or door knocking. As these strategies may still be working for many agents, today we're going to be talking about the 4 best ways to get more listings this 2023. So calling people you know, cold calling, and door knocking they are traditional lead generation strategies, but they are still being practiced today. I still consider calling people if you know, one of the best ways to lead generate. But as you know, most agents, use their text messages, emails, and other ways of communication other than just picking up the phone. Door knocking is a very traditional lead generation strategy, but it is also working because you get to see the person right in front of you and have the chance to have them listen to you for a few moments while you knock on doors directly on their property. Lead generation is very important, if not the most important aspect of our business, and that's something that we have to always consider and keep in mind. That is basically the most important aspect of our business, because without leads, without clientele, we don't have any business. There are hundreds of ways to lead generate, but as we have seen, new and improved ways to lead generate have risen throughout the years, and it is important to know what works best in this time. So as opposed to maybe 20-30 years ago, where there wasn't any internet, there was no phones, there was no nothing, it was just basically who you met in person, all the way to now, where with a click of a button you are connecting with hundreds, if not thousands, of people at the same time, and it is a lot faster, and we have to take advantage of those tools. So innovation is part of, it should be part of our business, since if we don't innovate along with the technology that is being presented to us, we are going to be left behind, or we are going to be a little behind on the tools that we could be using to generate leads faster or more leads, as opposed to using the same things always over and over again. The 2023 best way to generate listings are, and here we come with the number 1, is a lead magnet that attracts sellers. And I love this one because I feel that it kind of does the work for you, and it's a way of like catching the fish with the net in the sea. And a lead magnet is simply a marketing term for a free service or a download giveaway for the purpose of gathering contact details. It's a chance to simply share the knowledge and genius that you have and put it into a download system for leads to click and add their info before download. It's a modern, effective, and it's a way to collect leads. So we've all been trapped in those captions where it says, click here and we'll show you the best ways to blah, blah, blah. And for example, we have an example here, the 5 budget-friendly home projects anyone can do to increase their value in their homes. And this attracts, basically a seller. And this will require to put your information. So once a person clicks on it, in order to download the information or to access the content, you have to add your email address, your name or your phone number. And I don't know how many times I've used this technique and that I've fallen into, something is very catchy. I click on it and it says download or add your email address and then you can download for free. And people do it. Lots of people do it. I still do it and I know exactly what it is. They do it, they put their email address, and this is the way that a lot of agents are gathering lead information. Later on, they can be called, and if the person is asked, how did you get my email address? You can simply tell them, well, we collected your email from this website or this this form, or the way that you clicked on the internet, or you were looking on Facebook or on any other platform, on the five budget friendly home projects, blah blah blah, and people will remember. And that's a way that you can contact people with that excuse, whoa, I collected your information. Or I mean, you wouldn't say that, but you can say, I see that you were looking for ways to improve the value of your home. Let me help you with that. Are you thinking of selling? Blah, blah, blah. And there are a lot of ideas that you can put, and these can be easily, I mean, if you're paying in Google, which is probably the number one way to use this technique or this lead magnet, or Facebook, whichever it is, I believe you do have to pay in order to be a result in the search bar, and this will pop up, and then people are going to click on it, whether they're looking for houses or looking for ideas. This is just like kind of like advertising on the side, and people can just click on it if they're interested. Even you can even add a button like this that says how to sell your house without a listing agent or without a realtor. And people that are thinking of selling are going to click on it, look at it, and see, well, I have to do all these things by myself. I don't even know how to do this. I don't even know how to do that. And then your information pops up in the bottom, which is a perfect way to say, well, this person is thinking of selling their home and thinking they can do it on their own, and then realizing that they can't because there's a lot of things to cover, a lot of things to do that they probably don't have an idea on how to get started. But your information pops up and they're like, you know what, it's just better to call a listing agent or a realtor and get my house sold. So a lead magnet is a perfect way to attract or to gather people's information in a bunch, a lot. And it is a service that you have to pay, so that's something to keep in mind. Number 2 is asking your buyer. And this is super, super simple, but it works. And let me tell you why. Many buyer leads are, in fact, also sellers, because most people will start looking at homes to buy online before listing their home. Don't lose the opportunity to ask for the listing when helping any new home buyer by simply asking the question, do you need to sell a home before you can purchase? Also, buyers that buy with you become sellers in the future, so it's very important to always ask. So you're meeting a person that's looking to buy property. One of the questions that is very important in the buyer questionnaire or the lead sheet, whatever it is that you use, is to ask them, do you own a property now? Do you need to sell that home? Because you wouldn't, I mean, if this person is thinking of buying, they might be working with a real estate agent already that wants to list their home, and you have to make sure that there's no contract involved when it comes to the buying process. But let's say they are looking to buy a house, but they own a house and they haven't even started yet, and that's when you can give them the option to represent them in both transactions. You would be surprised how many people ask, I want to buy, but can you also help me sell my house? Like they think that we can't do both things at the same time, which we can. And it's probably one of the best ways to go through a transaction is to represent, them as sellers and also for them buying their new property. So this is one of the best ways to always get the business for a listing is to simply ask all your buyers, the people that you're working now that are buying homes, if they are new in the market, they're first time home buyers, and they're barely buying their first house because they used to rent. Ask them anyway, because you don't know if that person has another friend who is also thinking of buying and they have a house to sell. And that's a perfect way to get a listing. So always ask your buyers. I know that I'm helping you, and I know you probably don't want to ask too many questions, but always ask them, are you the only one who wants to buy? Do you know if anybody else is thinking of selling maybe, or buying a property? And they're usually, sometimes they'll say, no, I don't know anybody, but then, you ask them again later on, a few weeks later, or maybe at the closing table, and they have somebody, they know somebody. Well, you know what? My mom is thinking of buying a house. My brother is thinking of selling his house. Get the information, get their information to call them and get that listing. So this is just a very simple way to generate more listings, is to simply ask your buyers. Number 3 is your sphere of influence. And this is probably one that's very, very important. This is one that I use all the time. I like to work with people that I already know. And I'm sure that you as a new agent is going to understand that, working with the people that is simply a lot better. But, this is one of the biggest lead generation strategies, is to always keep your sphere of influence in mind. Always have that conversation with the people that you surround yourself with, because might be your friends, they might be your colleagues, they might be your doctors, your hairstylist, people that you see all the time. If you don't ask them, they're probably not going to tell you. So you have to ask the question and be very always have that conversation whenever you talk to them, in a friendly way, in a way that you can, are not going to sound too like you're making a commercial or something, or just trying to get that information from them. But in the course of the conversation, always bring up that question. Your sphere of influence is the number 1 place you should go to generate leads. And we're going to take a stop. And let me tell you why 50% of the people are moving this year, and 100% of the people know someone who is moving this year. Buenos días, Karen.
Buenos días, Ana.
Hoy me está tocando dar la clase en inglés. Es que si no hay ningún problema, voy a continuar así en inglés. Es que tú sí entiendes, ¿correcto?
Sí, está bien, no hay problema.
Perfecto. Muy bien.
Gracias.
So like I was saying, 15% of the people are moving this year. So, it might sound like a small percentage, but it happens. People are moving all the time. Most people don't stay in their houses for longer than 5 years. So there's always someone that's moving. If you keep contact with those people around you, and be alert to when they have to move, always ask that question. You need an agent to represent you if you're planning to buy or sell your property. And 100% of the people know of someone who is moving this year. So that is pretty surprising that, you may ask anybody in your sphere of influence if they know of somebody who is moving, buying, or selling. Everybody's going to know at least someone. So if you don't ask, you're never going to get that information. Not to mention that conversations with people is easier than cold calling. And that's why I prefer always using this method of contacting your sphere of influence, is to avoid making cold calls. Cold calls are horrible in the beginning, but if you go in that route, that's fine. That's perfectly fine, because you'll lose the fear and then you get something flowing. But if you are not used to it, it's always going to be kind of difficult and uncomfortable. People don't like to get calls. So if you are one like me and don't want to be making cold calls, contact your sphere of influence, either by email, a text message, or simply a call, or whenever you see them in person, which is most likely that's the way that you're going to see the people that are around you, is you usually see them in person, because those are the people that you are surrounding yourself with constantly. And well, according to a study from Tom Ferry, only 4% of agents follow up their sphere of influence consistently. To start with, consistent marketing your sphere of influence. So that's a very small percentage. Agents are not keeping up, or they're not following up with the people that are around them. And mostly because your friends, you don't talk business with your friends. When you meet somebody, when you meet with a friend, with a family member, the last thing you're doing is talking about business or work. So it might get a little bit difficult, but talking to them in person might not, you might not use that route. But if you follow up with emails or a simple text message and just let them know, hey, I'm doing this for my work, so don't mind me if I send you a text message like this that says this, but it'll keep in their, you will be kept in their minds when it comes to real estate. And I didn't see this until now that I've been in the business for a few years, and people that I've known for a long time are coming to me now and saying, hey, I need to sell my house. Hey, I have this question, can you answer it for me? And these people have known that I'm in real estate for a long time, and I don't necessarily go up to them and have a conversation about real estate, because sometimes it might get weird. There are people that you see all the time, but that's the least thing you want to do. But now they're coming up to me and asking me questions about real estate and thinking about buying or selling. And that's amazing, because you're in their minds, meaning that somehow they know that you're a real estate agent. And one way that they see that is by the things you share online, by simply, if you tell them a story or remind them that you're working in real estate, not opening up a big old conversation about work, but just kind of like tapping them with a reminder that you're still working in real estate and that you can help them buy or sell their property. So let's not fall into the larger percentage of agents that don't follow up with their sphere of influence. Let's try to dig in there and see, okay, I haven't contacted this friend or this family member in a long time. I'm going to ask them if they need help selling their house, or if they need help buying a house or something. But always keep them in mind. And your family and friends are not going to be upset if you send them every 6 months or every year. You send them a calendar with your business information. They're not going to be upset. They're actually going to save it. They're going to put it somewhere safe, or just keep it in the refrigerator if it's a magnet. If you keep that contact constantly, it's eventually going to bring you business, and you will see the results. So my sphere of influence is the one that I work with the most. I like working with people that I know. I love working for my family, and I I get the experience, I practice my professionalism, and they're okay with it, because they want to work with me and they don't want to work with anybody else that they don't feel comfortable with. And number 4 would be what we probably thought in the first place: social media, your best free tool. So social media has made a revolution these past 20 years because it's free, and hundreds, if not thousands of people are looking at you and paying attention to the things that you have to share. And most businesses are using social media as their number 1 lead source today. So most agents have reported a large percentage of their business comes from social media. Having daily contact to target sellers will bring you more listings. So, like I've said before, and this is a continuation of the classes before, if you don't like social media for your personal stuff, don't have any. But your business should have social media, and you should feed your social media daily, weekly, if not daily. So it's something that you have to keep in mind, to just remember to always be connected with, the platforms that are given to you for free. I mean, you don't have to pay a dime. You don't have to pay extra unless you want to. There are ways to pay for extra services or extra exposure to gain more followers, gain more likes, but what you want is exposure. So people to see your content, people to share your content to their pages, and that multiplies the amount of people that are looking at what you're posting online. So one specific idea is Facebook Live Market updates. These updates will showcase you as an expert in your field. It will show your sphere of influence, the confidence to list with you or bring you a referral. These videos can also be shared on YouTube or other platforms for more exposure. So one specific way to keep your social media active is to do live videos. And I know some people might not feel comfortable behind the camera, but you can prepare, you can stage the place where you're recording, you can buy a stand, you can move back a little bit, you can use filters, there's lots of ways to make you look, good, professional, clean, however you feel comfortable. And share with the people that follow you, share important information about real estate, live market updates. So talk about the market status, talk about this year, how it's going to look like, talk about so many things that you can share with people that they're going to find very informative, they're going to find interesting. And, even if they watch for a few seconds, they know that you're working, they know what you're talking about. They see you, and then they'll remember you whenever the need comes. So social media is something that we have to be taking advantage to the max, because it's free. It's free. And according to the algorithms used, for example, in Instagram and YouTube, the more you post, the more the app is going to expose you, or the more they're going to show your content. So you have to be, for example, I know a little bit more about Instagram. If you post between 3 to 4 stories daily, every day consistently, Instagram is going to start eventually showing your post and sharing your stuff. More people are going to follow you, more people are going to see your content, and you're going to grow the number of followers. Since YouTube and Instagram is probably the 2 platforms that are very difficult to gain followers unless you pay for them, it's very important to keep a consistent flow of content for you to increase your number of followers and your number of viewers. So you want to connect with people that are in your area. You can connect with groups in Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. You can connect with the people that are in your area. So if they know that you're making a live video and you're talking about, how to sell your house, and they live in the area, they see that you're an agent that's close to where they live and they need to sell their house, they're going to try to contact you. They're going to send you a message and try to contact you to sell their house or to help them buy a house, whichever it is. So we have to take full advantage of this tool because it is amazing, and it's probably gonna bring you a lot of business if you are consistent. So that's the key. Here are 14 topic ideas for your Facebook Live or other, and you can take a screenshot of this so you can have the ideas on your phone and maybe later share them. Start by doing maybe once a week, maybe 3 times a week until you get a flow of sharing stuff, because I've heard this a lot. Anything is content, anything, even if you are drinking a cup of coffee, take a picture of it and post it, and people are going to remember you. People are going to see you. Not everything has to be exclusively business related. You can mix and match. You can mix a little bit of your personal, but not so personal, and then post something about your work. So this is what a lot of agents do. You don't have to share intimate personal stuff. You don't even have to share pictures of your family. You don't have to share anything that's related to your personal life if you don't like that or if you don't feel comfortable with. But you can always put, a picture of the sky, a picture of the morning sunrise. You can put an update of the weather that week or that day. Something that's kind of telling people this is my life, but without exposing too much of your personal stuff. And here are 14 ways that you can use. These are 14 ideas that you can use as content for your social media. And number 1 being market updates of 2023. Go to your board of realtors. You can go to a lot of websites and get statistics, get information for the market this year. Talk to your local lender or your preferred lender. Talk to them, ask them how do you see this year happening? How do you see the interest going up or down? How do you see, different things about the market? Write a little list, make a video about it. But answer questions people may have. And these videos or these live videos don't have to be an hour long. They can be 5-10 minutes. Super fast, very quick. People will share your content and remember you for next time. Another one is talking to a lender. This is a good one because you're not going to be the one doing the talking. You can get together with a lender, make a video, and the lender can do all the talking for you, answer questions people may have. And this is a great way to make a live video, record it, and then just leave it there for people to see it in another time. Another idea is how to prepare your house to sell, just topics like that, renovations that bring you the best return, how to sell and buy at the same time. This is a good one because a lot of people ask that question a lot when they have a property that they need to sell, but they also want to buy. They want to know, how can we do that at the same time? Because I want to sell, but I don't have a place to live in between. You can do both at the same time and maybe explain the steps on how to do that. Packing hacks when moving. This is a good one. You can share, bullet points, or you can show something, like how to wrap a box or how to store things in one tiny little box. Just stuff like that. Video testimonials. This is one thing that I've seen from a lot of agents after a closing. They ask their customer, their client, hey, can I record a video of your experience? most people, you know, they don't like to be recorded, but some people do, and take advantage of that, and then, you know, make a video off of it. Closing day slideshow, take lots of pictures on your closing day, take pictures with your client that is closing, make a slideshow, put music on it, put captions, all of that, and you'll have content for a few days if you do that. Live showings, this is perfect, it's super easy, is to broadcast a live showing of a house that you probably don't even have a client to show it to, you're just previewing, use showing time, and go look at a house and record, you know, the showing. Another one is guide to selling a home fast in 2023. This will capture people's attention. General market analysis of the town you work in, so just talk about the town you're living, see how it's growing, get some statistics of the area, get some zoning planning, something that you could put it into a video and then share with your followers. Fastest growing areas in your county, this is a good one. You can talk about your entire county. You can get that information on NARC or Greg or Board of Realtors. New construction tours, if there's a new subdivision that you know that is growing, do a new construction tour, talk about their floor plans, talk about, you know, the houses that they're selling, you know, inviting people to maybe wanting to buy. A guide on what to expect when selling, and as a bonus, I posted make a trendy reel, and these are super easy. These are found on Instagram or Facebook. You know, whatever you see other people doing that's trending, go ahead and do it yourself. Put the music, it's all about the song and whatever it is, and you can apply it to your own real estate with your own real estate caption. So these are just a few ideas on what to do or what kind of content to add to your social media, but we have to get going. We have to do it because it's a great way to contact people. And lastly, our challenge of the week is to focus on your social media on sellers, share helpful information like I just shared right here. Focus on sellers because you want to get more listings. So focus, take a whole week and focus your content on try to attract sellers on your social media. So that's it for today. And if you have any questions, please feel free to send me a message.